All right, what's up, everyone? So, different type of video today. I have a point that I want to make. So, you don't beat Act 1 on A10 by forcing a build. You beat it by solving the problems that are directly in front of you. Act 1 is probably where I see the most A10 runs go wrong. Like, people start trying to build an exhaust deck or a strength deck or a poison deck before the game has actually given you one. And that's not how I approach it. So, in this video, I'm going to go through Act 1 with every character in Underdocks and or Overgrowth, like depending on which one we get. And I'll show you exactly what I'm looking for when I choose a path, take cards, fight elites, and prepare for the boss. So the goal isn't to show you a build, it's to show you how to consistently get out of Act 1 alive and be strong enough for the next act. So let's start with Ironclad. We're just going to start wherever they go, whatever they give us. I see Leafy Poultice here. I really like the Leafy Poultice. Let's take a look at the map. Okay, so pathing, like I looked for 2 elites after the chest, because that's where, like, after by the time we get up to here, like, you're incrementally getting stronger every floor. So by the time we get up to here, it's a lot easier for us to fight elites up here than it is down here. It doesn't mean that we can't do it, right? Like here, I'm looking at this one saying like, okay, this is, I get 2 events, 3 combats, and a respite into the elite, and then I get 2 upgrades after this, or like a rest and an upgrade into the next 2, and I can probably skip this combat if I want to. And go like this. So this is the path that I'm shooting for. So now I come back here and say like, well, which one of these supports that plan? I think that the Leafy Poultice is kind of a high roll, but like getting a strike and a defend out of your deck can be really strong. Daniel's Fury is also very strong, especially if you end up with things that you want to pull back in your hand. But I think we're going to start here and just see what we get. We get a taunt and a tremble. So taunt is better than a defend, and tremble is arguably better than strike because it exhausts and it just makes your other cards deal more damage. So let's just start. And like one thing I'm noticing right away is that I have a lot of vulnerable to go around here. I do get some blocks. So like instead of playing this bash, I can play taunt and then 2 strikes and deal 18 to this one. And what I'm trying to do is these guys both have a cycle where they go debuff, multi-attack, big attack. And then it cycles back to the debuff. So like this guy's going to debuff next turn, which means that I want to look at these cards. The best I can do is 2 strikes here. So that means that I might want to take this 9 damage to deal 17 to this and put him at 10 and make him vulnerable for next turn. Whereas if I do taunt and block and I get 2 strikes, it's going to deal 18 damage to him, put him at 9. Actually, I'm going to need to draw the 2 strikes either way, right? So I just thought it through. Like Bash Strike has potentially the same outcome. Like I'm going to need to draw my 2 strikes no matter what, as Taunt Strike does. Let me just double check and make sure that's true. This deals 17 damage. It puts him at 10, makes him vulnerable. Yeah, 1 strike is going to deal 9. So if I brick and draw 3 defends, an Ascender's Bane, and a strike, I'm out of it either way. And like I want to kill this one next turn because when this one dies, he's going to stun this one. So yeah, let's just taunt 2 strikes. He's at 9. And I need to draw 2 strikes next turn, which I do. Right, so he stuns and then he wakes up debuffing, like doing the same action that he was doing when he fell asleep. So now I can just tremble. And I should be able to deterministically kill with these cards. Okay, we get another taunt, a pommel strike, and a blood wall. I already have 1 taunt that I want to upgrade, so that it gives 2 vuln. The Pommel Strike is going to just help me deal through my deck. It deals more damage. It deals more damage than a strike does. I could upgrade 2 random cards. I think it's pretty strong. You could also remove a strike here. I think I'm just going to upgrade the 2 random. Yeah. So this deals 9 now, which is nice. Okay. This just full blocks. Okay, can I kill? This deals 13, and 13 is 26, plus this will kill. So we get a potion. Drum of Battle. I'm not taking it right now because it doesn't help me solve my immediate problem, which is really going to be multi-enemy combat. This block card isn't terrible to take. Like, this can just block better than anything we have right now, so I'll take it. Yeah, so here I'm just going to full block and Pommel Strike. Now that I have the upgraded Defend, that full blocks for us. Yeah. And we're out of there. We get Iron Wave, Setup Strike, and Cinder. I'm not taking any of these. The Cinder, I think, is basically unplayable. The Setup Strike is good if you have like multi-hit attacks, like a Sword Boomerang or something, but we don't. And then Iron Wave is just slightly weak. Like, it's okay if it's upgraded, but it doesn't deal that much damage or block that much. So we're going to skip. Okay, so we're going to lose our Power Potion for an upgraded common attack. Like, the common attack that we're looking for is Breakthrough. If we can get that, we're in business. We don't get Breakthrough, we do get Thunderclap, which is, since it's upgraded, this is okay. And, like, you might want to take the big damage. You might want to take the Molten Fist. This might be higher in the tier list or something, but I'm trying to solve multi-enemy combat right now because I want to fight 3 elites. And one of them is going to be Frog Parasite. And if I'm ill-prepared for that fight, we're going to have a rough time. So the decision is between the Taunt and the Pommel Strike. Taunt gives 2 vulnerable, which makes a big difference. It blocks for a little bit more. And then Pommel draws 2. I think right now, giving the 2 vulnerable is more valuable. Okay, and here's the fight. So we can, this back one becomes the issue next turn. So we're going to vuln there. We're going to damage all of them. Since they're all vulnerable, I'm going to deal damage to whatever the weakest one is. This one's buffing next turn, though. So I'm not going to be able to kill any of them anyway. And I'm just going to defend once. Okay. This deals 13 there. Yeah, I'm just going to deal 13 damage there and then block for what I can. We take 5. We're still doing okay. And then Pommel Strike's going to one-shot him. So that's perfect. See, he's dealing 10 damage. So that's great. We can Blood Wall and block the rest. Or we could accept 6 damage and start chipping away at whoever has the lowest health, which is this one. which I think is what we're going to do. So we'll block for 7. Yeah. Yeah, we only took 4. We get another Thunderclap. The Thunderclap should kill this one, because this adds 3 damage because he's vulnerable. So we go boom. Now, our strikes are going to marginally help. Let's see. 9 and 9 is 18. It doesn't kill either of them, right? Because they have block. So let's do damage to the one that's buffing and then block for what we can. Okay. Here, this is perfect. We can block. Now that he's vuln, this is going to kill him. And we'll just defend. And now it's 1v1. Okay. Thunderclap's going to deal 7, but he'll get 7 blocks. So he'll be back at 17. But he will be vulnerable, and then 2 strikes will kill. And we got out of there. Okay, now we pick up a Cascade, which is just like outside of the normal power band of what you would see. Like, yes, it's a rare, but not all rares are as good as Cascade is. Like, I think we just take the Cascade and we're looking to upgrade this as soon as possible. So we just go to the smith, upgrade the Cascade, don't think too hard. We pick up this, every time we play 3 attacks, it deals 6 to a random enemy. Just add some chip damage. And now we can upgrade our Pommel Strike. Okay. So we have Terror Eel and the Shell guy are left. Let's see. I could play Bloodwall and Cascade for 2. And then that could cascade into any of these. Like, it just gives me a die roll at like hitting a bash off of the Cascade, or like hitting another block card, or even like one of these up, even if it's just 2 strikes. That is all of those outcomes are pretty good. Could also just argue for like one of these 2 cards, but the upgraded Cascade, now it plays 2 cards for 1 energy. So that's why we upgrade this. It's more energy efficient. Yep, and we get bash, strike. This is great. We take 2. He's vulnerable this turn. We only have 1 attack. He's attacking for 12. So we're going to play the 1 attack. And then I think we can taunt defend here, which is almost the same thing as playing this tremble, and we full block. Okay, now he's attacking for 24. This could be a good spot to upgrade my defense. And we need to get him down to 75 in order to stun. And here we can cascade for 4. So that's going to play 4 of these cards. Like, the worst it could do is like miss the blood wall. And then I just take 12. But it does a ton of damage if we do that. So let's do that. Yep, so we're full blocked. He's 2 damage away from being stunned. And now we can cascade again. So again, same idea. Like, the 3 energy that we spend here is going to get us 4 cards. And is potentially more than 4 energy worth of stuff, all for just 3. So we just rip cascade again. Unfortunately, we hit all blocks, which is fine. So we can go boom, boom, boom. The Kasurigama, like dealing 6 there, actually matters. And now we cannot kill with this strike, so we're better off just like full blocking here, or as close to it as we can get. We could go 8, 8, 7 is better than playing the blood wall. The sturdy clamp helped us out there because it retained some of our block. Let's see. That goes 10, 9, 9. So that deals 28, which is just short. So we're going to take some damage here. Yeah, we're just taking some damage here. And the Kasurigama. I forgot about the Kasurigama. Just killed, and we ended up okay. Okay. Rampage is much better if we can reliably like replay it quickly. So like if we had a headbutt to put it back on top of our deck and it was upgraded, then it scales damage pretty quickly. But because it doesn't, because we don't have that set up and we're going into Waterfall Giant, we'll take another block card here. Okay, boom. I don't want to lose the upgraded strike. I don't want to lose Thunderclap. I don't want to lose Pommel Strike. Oh, we're getting owned here. We'll take the strike out. Okay, we kind of got wrecked on that event. So that might mean that we have to skip here. Again, 4 energy worth of stuff for just 3. That's what we're going to do. Okay, and then Sturdy Clamp's going to help us out, help us retain some block there. There's something to be said for giving vulnerable here. But because there's a Tremble on top of my deck here, I'm going to draw into it. Oh, and then I get the Cascade, which is interesting. So I could play it safe and full block into the Cascade. Or I could get this Tremble down and then Cascade here and just see what we hit. Okay, so we take 4. It was worth the risk because he's just dead on the next turn. We heal for 6 anyway. All right, now we pick up Colossus, Inferno, Breakthrough. The Colossus, like, very, very good block. It just halves the damage of a vulnerable target. Inferno is also really good, like, AoE damage. It's good into all the AoE fights. It's a pretty tough choice, but I'm going to take the Colossus here. Because we have all this vulnerable and we're going into a boss that like deals a bunch of damage on its last turn. So like we just have to take the Colossus there. We can risk it and go fight this elite. It's going to be the shell guy. We're at 24. We have a potion to get us out of it, and then we can heal here if we need to. Okay. I'm going to skill potion because the trick with this guy is if you can deal max damage on the first 4 turns, you avoid the turn where he attacks for a bunch. And we just have all block cards here. So I don't want to spend my energy blocking. What I want to do is this. We get a Stoke, a Battle Trance, and a Dominate. All good options. Let's see. I don't necessarily want to stoke away my stuff here, although it is going to be free, so I'm going to have the 3 energy to play whatever I draw. I could draw 3 more cards, which could get me into like this Cascade. Or I could play the Dominate, which would make him vulnerable and give me strength according to how much vulnerable we have. So we could go like Bash, Taunt, and then Dominate. Or like Taunt Bash is only going to deal 12 damage. And because he's capped at 20, we want to really find a way that we can deal 20 damage here. I'm going to take the Stoke. Okay. Let's see. I can Stoke these again. We get a Mangle, which is perfect. It deals 20 damage, and he loses 10 strength. I don't even have to spend any energy on it. So I can go like this. Play the aggression. And then Stoke these again. Okay. Okay, we get upgraded Thrash in our hand. But we also get this Cascade. So if I look at the top cards, I'm pretty likely to be able to do a bunch of damage here. I'm just going to Cascade. Yep, we dealt max damage again, and we blocked for a little bit. This is perfect. Okay. We need to find some block. If we Cascade, we could Cascade into this Mangle, which would be perfect. If we try to draw with Pommel Strike, we might not. We're very likely to hit some block here. If we hit all block, we're in tough shape. So we could Thunderclap Pommel. That's going to deal 7 plus 15. This will deal max damage. And then we just hope that we Cascade into some block. I think that's the plan. Yep, and then we Cascade into some block. Okay, we're at 4, but we get this Mangle. So we got out of there. Calculated victory there. Now we get a Cruelty. Cruelty, we have all this vulnerable. We're just taking the Cruelty and then healing up here. Now, this would be pretty embarrassing if I died here, but we're just going to do same deal. We have Cascade Plus. We're going to get 4 energy worth of stuff for 3. Okay, and the Sturdy Clamp will hold some of that block. So not the end of the world there. We can draw. Let's see what we get. Okay. We get the Cruelty down. Given that we got Cruelty, we can Taunt. And then we can Pommel. We're just going to deal 20 now. Alright, so we full block that turn. The Pommel draws us to the rest of the cards that we want to see. We could Flame Barrier here, but we could also Taunt and just give him more vulnerable. Strike deals a bunch, and we full block. Now we have a Cascade here. So we're just going to rip the Cascade again. Okay, now the Colossus comes in pretty clutch. because he's only dealing 11. We're blocking for 11. We can draw. And I think we can exhaust this Tremble, and this will basically just keep him vulnerable for the rest of the match. Okay, we get Cascade again. We take a little bit here, but we're doing okay. Okay, we can Colossus to make sure we don't die, and then Cascade for 3 here. Okay, we're blocking for 8. He's attacking for 11, so we can go strike, strike, defend once. Yeah, we just have to bash, strike. Okay, again, we're gonna Colossus to make sure we don't die. This deals 20, this deals 14. I think we can deal 20 here and then Cascade for 2. Maybe this is worth it. And then we'll just Cascade for 1. Okay, and he dies, and now we need enough block next turn. Like, hopefully we draw this Blood Wall and the upgraded Defend, and we should be okay. So we retain 6 block, we get the Blood Wall, we get the upgraded Defend. He's attacking for 44, and we're going to live through the hit. So that's it. That is how you get through Act 1 on the Underdocks on A10.